Hi there, everybody. Good evening. So, how are you all? I thought I would come and chat with you and give you a little bit more on what I did this morning. Office yoga for the entrepreneurs, 5 minute office yoga. Uh, I mean, each minute is given a sample, but that's meant to be done at the office space or at the home or at real office space, so that really helps you to extend the practice from the morning, whatever you do, and also at home. But meanwhile, you will get rid of the tension or what we call tamas energy. Okay. See, yoga talks about three types of energies that we have. And then if you are active and going around and you're doing very vigorous activity, and also you're thinking you're very quick and rapid and all that, that's called rajas. So we need that kind of energy when we are doing stuff. Yeah. But then suppose you are lazy and want to sit down and don't want to do it, then there's a stagnant energy which is they call tamas. This is the one which kind of, if it is too much, that means you are laying down too much, you are not moving too much, you are kind of taking the rest and all that unnecessarily, even though your body doesn't feel it is tired. That's the problem, right? So suppose you are sitting in the chair all the time, you accumulate this kind of tamas energy, and then your, you know, joints freeze up and you could feel stiff when you get up, and then you say, okay, his tamas energy is high. You need the tamas energy when you really want to rest and sleep, but when you are active, it is not supposed to accumulate. If it accumulated, that means you are keeping the body stagnant, not moving it, right? So to relieve that kind of energy, this 5 minute break that I told you about, but that's involving so many things, not only just moving and doing, but also relaxation and also focusing and meditating. All those are combined. For those who did not see this morning, the first minute, second minute, third minute, like that, I broke it down. The first minute is about really taking deep breaths, and the second minute is about doing some sun salutations, which is a very good aerobic exercise. And then you the third thing is like a specific asanas that you want to do, because if you have back pain, or if you have back pain, for example, you sit in the chair and then do the uh, cow and cat pose, right, alternately. That will help you. And then you kind of promote your relaxation by doing the dead man's pose for 1 minute, or sitting in the body weighted body scanning. The both are the same, but the lying down and doing it is much better. But for 1 minute you cannot. So all it is about doing briefly, quickly, and also revamping the energy, right? That's what we want to do, so, and then after the fourth minute, that dead man's pose relaxation is done, then you go and you do your meditation, like, the last minute Shambhu Mantra, just observing thoughts also is good enough. So the intention of this program is for those people who um, think that I cannot be uh, doing fitness exercise or relaxation or focusing at work, and really engulfed by work, they may attain these bad habits without them knowing. So the body is getting stiffened, and your focus is going all over, and you feel stressed, and you keeping all those stress within yourself. Okay. To do away with that, my recommendation is, after you've done the morning routine, uh, you can be vigorous there, and then If you are 30 below, you may be okay. But if you are into 40s, 50s, 60s, then you start to notice this tamas energy, the lazy energy, the stagnant energy I talked about, that will be accumulating too easily. So, and also this creature comforts that we have, like staying in the bed or staying in the sofa and watching watching TV, binge TV, and all that. Those things are not good. Okay, or staying on the computer and doing our computer work because you have to sell some things. Those things happen today. So this is for those people who are neglecting that kind of underlying damage that is happening with the body, right? You get it? So you could be very active, you don't sit and you're doing all that, that's fine. But if you are sitting a lot and you are not moving a lot and you don't have the opportunity to move a lot, get up and go and do that, then see stockbrokers or other people, a lot of them confined to the computer without even turning the head. And that kind of new developments in the culture where they promote creature comfort, not realizing that is aging you faster. So if you are getting older faster, that's not good, right? To reverse that, I recommend this 5 minute office yoga for entrepreneurs. Okay. And I thought I will give more explanation because I will be doing this 5 minute office yoga every afternoon or something like that. What I recommend is if you can do it before lunch and if you can do it before dinner, that's much better for you. But if formal training at the thing at the evening time, you don't have to do this in the evening time, but you can do it while you are at work. See, one of the things I really promote is functional fitness while at work, right? A lot of people don't pay attention to that. There are so many opportunities for us to, dissolve this so-called stiffness that we accumulate, but then they don't take opportunity for that, right? There are several opportunities open up in your regular working style. We have to go out and get something, then don't use the car, go walk if you can afford the time and the energy and the atmosphere, right? If the weather is not good, obviously you cannot do that, right? Otherwise, yet the hospital, we try to always take the stairs or walk in the corridors or stand as much as possible in the all those things help a lot. So I always recommend functional ergonomics, right? If you can really attend to the furniture and make sure that they're ergonomic and then making you sit with your back straight, that's what we want to do. And also, sitting more than half an hour at a time at work may be something you want to do. Okay. All these exercises are very good for you. Okay. Anything else? If you want to ask questions, I'm here, especially on this. If you want to ask me any particular clarity or any any further improvements, how do you go from there? I will be happy to answer if you have questions. Otherwise, just be active. Um, and if you move all the time and if you are resting when the body wants rest, that's good enough. And also keep your mind not to go all over the place and thinking a lot. That has become a problem lately, information overload and all. So simple rule we always employ is move the body and keep the mind silent when it is not used. Okay, it doesn't mean that you don't use your mind at all. No, you use it, but then you don't want to, go all over the world and participate in all the gossips, all the unnecessary news bits, and so much happens, right? So many people are want to get involved, but then not for the real big reasons like a climate change or like a what is going on with worsening mental health or what's going on with the chronic diseases. All these things are very important. I'm not talking about the important ones, but a lot of people really allow themselves to be sucked in by the information floating around through the people put notifications, everything on the phone, and then you just look at it, and then you can go on thinking about it, even though that's not the right time and all that, right? This has become too much information flowing through our phones, and people are keeping their mind chattering all the time. That's a fact, right? Uh, if you don't really understand the long-term effects of this, then you will see the long effect for sure, and then you may not even wait to reverse it. So neurological pathways that form unconsciously are pretty difficult to get rid of once the patterns are set off. But then if you can not accumulate information or unnecessary thoughts while you are, you know having the younger times, and then you just enjoy yourself and then forget about things and all that, that would be good. So simple formula: move the body and keep the mind silent, right? Uh, but the move the body, I combined both of them in those 5 minutes. The first minute, when you take deep breaths, that is kind of stimulates you and makes you aware, and also really energizes you, right? And then because you're trying to deep breathe, whatever you're thinking will be cut short, and then you can be in the present moment of the breathing, right? And then when you do the sun salutations, because you have to down dog, and then kind of plank, and then cobra, all this move your spine up and down, right? That movement of the spine is really what is advantageous here. Okay. And then the third thing is you kind of do different kind of combination of asanas quickly done. Okay. It doesn't have to be maybe same thing you can do normally, okay, downward dog or plank or the fish or any of those things you can do. And then you kind of lie down and let all the muscles relax just for 1 minute. And after you do that, you feel like a refreshed completely because you're focusing, and then you are not allowing the body to be resting, right? And then fifth, finally, you want to really take over the thoughts and control them by not really succumb into the thoughts, because thoughts come, memories come, and stimuli come. But if you allow the thoughts to go rampant all over the place, that's what we don't want to do. So that's why we want to learn to focus how to observe the thoughts, how to really evidence of the thought. You just be the evidence witness or something like that. So watching the thoughts is very simple way to get the thoughts under control, and later on it leads to much quicker meditativeness than you think a lot and suddenly you want everything to be come under control. That may not happen. Okay, some people escape into medications or sleeping medications or pain medications or alcohol and all. I strongly advise that we don't need to do that uh, as an escape to this kind of turmoil in the mind or the body. But I would rather repair them, restore them, and then really rejuvenate them. That's what we should do. Then you will definitely develop your inner resilience with a life experience, and then you can sail through a lot of um, disease states, a lot of problems down the line, and then you can live longer but well, not in being a cripple like. Okay, so I thought I'll come and give a chance for people to come and tell me whether they have seen it or whether they liked it or any questions related to that. That will be good. Okay. I see some people coming in here. So anybody wants to come up? This is the time. So I can be here for another 15, 20 minutes. Then I have a 5 o'clock meeting. Then I have to go. Right now it's 4:36. So we have 24 minutes, Uh, this is constructed specifically for entrepreneurs because the culture has changed now, right? It was not like you can go to 9 to 5 job and come home and then that's it. Now, this entrepreneurship is like a 24-hour job. People are responding to different time zones of the world, and so sometimes they kind of sacrifice going to the gym, some resting and really sleeping good, and also not engaging in so many mental activities like we are doing now. That's the problem, right? So much information coming in and all that. And also, once you make the horse of the mind go, 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 it won't stop. That's the problem. You see, before it is your TV, one room, you got to go and sit there and watch. But now you can watch the TV on the telephone. So it is always available, always tempting, and people falling for it, and then sometimes they don't pay attention. They just get addicted to a serial or to a movie channel or just playing on the phone. There's a number of things. It's not bad if you can do them at your leisure when you want it, but it is really addictive and you cannot stay away from that. That's the problem. Like that's why this is a very simple routine I kind of conjured up and then presented for you. And I wanted to see anybody will take up and doing it in their office space and then feel good about it. Okay, and these things like you can take like a snack. Okay, morning breakfast, we have that morning routine. Then this kind of a snack between, and then in the evening again you go and really have the, good big dinner. Like you can do because the work is done. You could leave the work at work and then do this kind of things for extended period of time. More important is if you do at least some daily is more important than doing a long session at the end of week or weekends. That's okay to do that, but that's not going to be enough. But if you on the daily basis do a little bit of it, maybe 2 or 3 times a day, that's much better for you. Okay, so I kind of do these routines very well because I'm aware I am what I am, and then I always looking for opportunities to move, to get the states or to get the corridors, and also to meet in the meet. When I meet in the meetings, I kind of try to be up and about as much as possible and moving about. If I'm giving on a stage a lecture, just moving from one end to the other end. A lot of people do that, right? And that kind of thing is very good. If I'm sitting in the camera like now with StreamYard, I will sit in the chair, but sometimes I can raise the whole table and then stand too. But I have been working from morning till now on several things and walking a lot. And so I can afford to sit now, and then after this meeting is over, again I'm up and going. So think about that. 5-minute office yoga for entrepreneurs. That's a model on which you can build up longer sessions that are good for you. And you can start small. And also, the days change. One day we are very moody. One day we are very motivated. So these kind of small bites of exercise and routines you can start to practice. Okay. I will be bringing some of these short programs to you so that you can incorporate them into this functional fitness piece. That's what I'm talking about. When you are not carrying any weights, but your own weight and you are moving it, That's really functional fitness. You can vary it in various types, various jobs. And all. One of my favorite things to do with my colleagues is I usually ask them what kind of work they do, what is the routine, right? Like a nurse in ICU is there. She has to go and open the medication thing and they get the medication given to the patient, but then they keep them very close so that it's ICU, anything happens, they should get them very easily. But then they have to go and get the linen, somewhere they won't walk, and then sometimes they have to take the patients and walk them with them. So many physical activities they do without them knowing. But then so many times they may be sitting and everybody's coming to them. It depends upon their job, how they are doing, right? So you got the grift. I asked them, how is your general routine day go? Doctors show me that they make rounds. They show me that they go to the meetings. They show me that they are going and talking to the patient families. Lots of things they tell me, and then I ask them how much they deliberately try to move, or they cannot move because of certain disease or certain joint problem. That's okay. But if you are young and if you are not developing these habits of going and sitting in a chair and staying there for documenting, that's a tendency for doctors, right? They see the patient, but then they go and sit at the computer and then enter all the data for hour or and a half too sometimes, so at that time I tell them, why don't you use the cow? Cow is a computer on wheels. We have computers on the wheels. We can take them to each room and document it there. They were especially bought for this reason, so that people don't have to document in front of the patient sometimes, and also they can take the cow outside the room and then walk and do all these things. So that's all ergonomic way of getting out furniture. So if you pay attention to your own chair, your own equipment that you have, make it ergonomic. Ask them, that will help you with that. Okay. So, all right. Okay. Many times people may not be aware that they are succumbing to the creature comforts. What do you mean? Uh, People in I just got a report from a diabetologist from India, right? Why the diabetes has become an epidemic in India? They were exploring. One of the reasons they told me was they have one block away something a market. They can go and get what they want, a convenience store or super bazaar, whatever, right? But these people are taking vehicles to go there. It was never heard of that before. Before people used to walk or use bicycle, and thereby they were putting diabetes at bay. But now diabetes has exploded because all these two-wheel vehicles or cars have come. So people used to walk, and they are not walking in the shorter distances, like a one block, and that too in a tropical country. So you can see how this creature comforts they kind of creep on us. And then we are not paying attention, then we get used to that. But suppose you have an elevator in the hospital, and you have 10 stories. Like our New York hospital, where I got trained, Coney Island Hospital, they used to have 10 stories, and we used to go up by the stairs, because the two elevators that they have, they're almost always very busy. And if you cannot afford to wait for them, that is our situation. As medical residents, we need to do a lot of things in a day, right? We cannot be held back and say, you slow down. We cannot slow down. We'll be punished if we do it. As a resident, you are just a slave. Whatever the attendings tell you, you have to do it. So we are always in the rush, always going. by the stage. That was the blessing in disguise, right? So we could identify that, but a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm too lazy. I don't want to do that." Don't do that. That is the problem. That is when you fall off of the mobility, and also teaching the body the habits that are not possibly good for it in the down the line. Okay, um, people may have opportunity to carry stuff, right? And they may not be willing to do that, or they may not be able to do that. That's different. But then lots of even using all the help just to get those things done and physically not exercising, that sort of thing. So basically these creature comforts. One classic example is when TVs were without remote, people at least used to get up from the chair and go to the TV and switch on, switch off, right? But now they kind of use the remote, and they don't even have to get up one time for 3 4 hours, which is that's where the creature comforts that are supposed to be um, you know help us, they may not be helping your health in the long run. See, the people who make all this, they want to make money. They don't care about what happens to your health. You got to be responsible for it. That's what I'm saying. Okay, creature comforts. So assess all your furniture, beds, chairs, and all that, and then re-engineer them, revise them. You can get this tables that are lifting to your height, and you can have chairs where you don't have back support, and you can sit on the chair, and then you will be completely, straight sitting, right? And also there are small under the table machines that you can use. You can bicycle them on them very easily, and that will help you to put in some steps without moving. So pay attention to the creature comforts. That's a very very important, because it can slip under the radar. Okay. Suppose you go to the movie, it used to be chairs, but now we have a luxurious big seats that you can lean back and all that. That's okay for the time frame. Maybe you're just relaxing in a movie and all that. But once come home, you do that. Once at a hospital, you do that. In hospital, our doctor's room usually equipped with a lot of chairs, but we prefer to go and sit on the straight chairs at the around the dining table, and that is very good for your back. So assessing all the furniture, opportunities to move, like I described about, and also carrying stuff around. All these things, if you do them, this that energy I described, tamas, which is stagnant energy, which is lazy energy, which is kind of a non-moving energy, right? And that's not good. Okay, don't allow it to accumulate. That when the joints get stiff, and you have tension in the muscle, and all this slowly accumulate. But then suppose you have inflammation in your body. A lot of people have that, right? So that's why we promote anti-inflammatory diet quite a bit. But people might have accumulated a lot of inflammation. By the time they realize that I'm eating foods that are promoting inflammation, I'm doing activities that are promoting inflammation, all these things you want to take a note, right? Anti-inflammatory diet is very very good to relieve aches and pains, and also joint stiffness. Okay, there's a lot more on the information that you could do, but yoga stretches with the deep breathing is one of the real good solutions for the inflammation that we normally accumulate in our bodies. So suppose you are used to treadmill or some other walking, whatever you do, then you may not have this extra stretches that happens with yoga. Suppose you are forward bending, you may only bend and reach up to knees with your hands, but then late next day you can go a little bit below the knee, and later on you can go and touch the floor. So that kind of extension of the exercise may not be there. Another they will do for the heart, But what about the muscles and tension and all? Okay. So I can go on talking about these wellness measures, but just remember 5 minute, okay, 5 minute, okay, office yoga, for the entrepreneurs. If you are doing that kind of chair, sitting on the chair all the time, that kind of thing. Okay. All right. Last chance. Anybody wants to come up before I go to my meeting and I can answer few people. A few minutes left. Just I want to touch base with anybody had seen that 5 minute office yoga thing I talked about today. I will talk about it in the next few days quite a lot and also demonstrate those few times so that people can get access to that and then um, implement that strategy in your fitness regimen. Okay. Actually, if you are doing something else by not allowing the creature comforts, not allowing this lack of mobility things at work, you are helping yourself for the formal exercise that you do because you are accumulating less dirt in your body so that when you go there, you are much more ready. Okay. Somebody's coming up, hopefully. Oh, Cecile. Okay. She does move, I think, a lot.
Hi, Dr. Rao. How are you?
I'm great, Cecile. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you. And honestly, I didn't hear very much of what you were talking about because I'm walking and it's loud. But I just wanted to tell you that I appreciate when you're on here, which is often. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I was talking about this 5 minute office yoga for entrepreneurs. I did this morning, Cecilia. It's
Yes,
about,
I was in there a little bit. I heard
yeah,
a couple of like the
yeah,
breathing exercises that I think I was on for.
yeah. No, I kind of put like a first minute breathing, second minute sun salutations, third minute like a different asanas, and then fourth minute is dead man pose, and fifth minute is for the observing your thoughts. Taking that
Okay.
kind of break during the work helps your practice much better.
Okay. Wait, was that you said 5 minute yoga?
Yeah, 5 minute yoga.
Oh, okay.
Check out that, and then you can see the videos on the Instagram or the YouTube. And that is a very simple thing to pick up. But there's something more behind it. This creature comforts, this tamasic energy, and all that. People let them flow under the radar. They don't realize the damage they are doing to their long-term health, and that's why I thought mainly the entrepreneur people have become so busy all day all night. Sometimes they don't have the opportunity to go somewhere and do that. Okay. If you can get out and walk, great, that's excellent. If you can go to a gym and do everything, that's excellent. But if they don't do that and at the work also, they are precipitating these problems. They allow
Yes.
the bad energy accumulate. They allow this creature
Or would you
comfort.
say stagnation? Yes.
Yeah, stagnation. There are a lot of without knowing people are stagnant because they are glued to their computer screen and they have to work. you know, and
Or
then
TV.
yeah, or TV and all that. So these kind of simple things on the long run make see we are better off when we are walking and only bicycles. But now we have cars and everything. We are kind of overusing them. See?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I see these situations in real life. People with a lot of stiffness, a lot of muscle aches, a lot of inflammation. I see them actually. They come and ask me, give us some medication that will do this and all. But usually,
Make you more flexible.
yeah, yeah.
That's to make you more flexible.
They just want to consume on their own over-the-counter medication, the Motrin and all these things, and then they come with a GI bleed because of those Motrins.
Right.
These medications, everybody don't want them completely. Sometimes they just have that in their box and they just take it without knowing it can interact with other medications. All that.
Right.
Anyway, I thought entrepreneur age because all the ladies, everybody, a lot of them are doing this. Many may be doing already moving and all. But for those who want an idea, I gave you one idea. So.
Great. Yeah, I like the idea of 5-minute yoga, and you take these breaks throughout your day.
Yeah, that's it. And then even if you do 2 or 3 times, it helps a lot.
Sure.
Do them with me, and then I may vary the vinyasa, I may vary how to relax and all that. And then you can pick up whatever you like and then go there and do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. I love it. Again, I really wanted to thank you.
Yeah.
And I will go back and listen to that 5-minute yoga. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Again, we can find that 5 minutes a day, right? At the least.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always say we make the time for the things that we want to do, right?
Yeah.
And we often, the work won't go on if we don't go on.
Yeah. You see, I'm doing what I'm doing now these days, Cecilia, reverse engineering. The people who come with the problems to me, I give them what I need to do. But then, why did they end up like this? So, what can we do to prevent this? And these things I'm presenting these days are like that.
Right.
Morning routine, evening routine, and this is the third thing I presented so far. One is the morning routine, the other one is evening routine. I didn't do much, but I did a couple of times maybe. And then now this is a 5-minute, what I call it, more like a really a short break, but it's like an office yoga, I said. It could be at home because you're a home business, or it could be in your office space. It doesn't take much time and place and all. All it takes is proper break for 5 minutes and do them sincerely.
Right.
They can.
If you're working in an office, typically you get like a morning break and an
Yeah.
afternoon break for lunch, and then one in between before between the lunch and the
Yeah.
5 o'clock. So I think that's great.
You see what they do? They our doctors especially what they go and stay in the office space and end up lazy around and take a coffee and talk something and come out. And
Right.
doctor is saying, okay, do that, but make some time for this, at least one break, if not all the breaks. So
Yes.
then also this creature comfort thing, people don't pay attention at all. They make more and more lazying of the body.
Mhm. Yeah.
When you are young, Cecilia, 30s, 40s, it doesn't seem much. But when you become 50s, 60s, most people feel this. Or also if you put on a lot of weight. And if you are going into 70s, it is much more easy to stiffen the joints.
Yes. Dr. Rao, I found. I
Yeah.
mean, I met this. I keep saying found. Why don't I say find? I met this 93-year-old man.
Yeah.
A couple of days after the hurricane here, and he walks a lot more than a lot of people I know.
Yeah.
93.
Mm.
He walks with the little thing that every once in a while he takes breaks, but he's still walking
Yeah.
like so well, and he goes and he meets people, and he's like, everybody loves him because he's just hello, hi, and
Yeah.
and he's just like so, I don't know, like open and happy, and I
Yeah.
feel like and moving, of course,
Yeah.
I believe, like, and he tells me he loves beets and eggs, like those are his two favorite things. Beets and eggs, and he just has a very positive
Yeah.
mindset, an outlook.
Yeah, he's moving. That's the key. He's keeping
Yeah.
himself moving all the time. Okay.
Yes, and he's just next week going to, or November 1st, moving into, like an assisted living facility. But it's like, so he doesn't have to cook for himself, but he's still going to be moving,
Yeah.
walking around. And, there's a lot of things for him to do. He goes to the American Legion, and Sundays they have music, and he hangs out there. And,
Yeah. Very good.
he's very active.
Yeah.
And it's really great to see.
That's why we say move the body and keep the mind silent as much as possible.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And I
Thank
just
you.
want to say again, thank you for
Okay.
your service.
Yeah.
And we'll speak soon.
It's
Have a good night.
it's my time for the meeting anyway. Thank you all for
Great,
joining
thank
me. I will see you
Bye.
later. Bye.